Hello everybody. You all are welcome in the channel, Time to Study. Today we are going to cover the chapter Metal and Non-Metal. Basically we are going to cover this video into two parts. In first part we will cover the physical properties, and in the second video we will cover the chemical properties and also the uses of metal and non-metal. So let's begin. Now let's look at the periodic table. In the periodic table you can see that all the elements are divided into three parts. The first is metal, the second part is non-metal, and the third is metalloid. We have to not read about metalloid, so let we remove it. Non-metal series, the last line which is starting from He is of noble gas except the 118th element. The elements above it are noble gas, which is helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. But we can also classify them in non-metals, so now, let we see how to classify metal and non-metal. Metal and non-metal can be classified into two ways, which are physical properties and chemical properties. The physical properties can be divided into 8 parts. The first part is luster. The elements which have the quality of reflecting light from its surface and can be polished is known as luster. Metal are lustrous while non-metal are not. For example, gold is lustrous but the sulfur is not, but diamond is an only non-metal which is lustrous. Second number, which is hardness. The metal are hard while the non-metal are not. For example, gold is hard but the sulfur is not. There are also exceptions such as diamond, which is a non-metal but it is the hardest element, while sodium, potassium and calcium are metal but they are soft. Now it's the third number, which is malleability. Malleability is the ability of a substance to be deformed and modeled into plain sheets. Metal are malleable while non-metal are not. When you hammer a metal it will change into thick sheets, but if you hammer a non-metal it will break and change into powder. For example, when you hammer aluminium it will be changed into sheets, but when you hammer sulfur it will be break down and form powder. The fourth number, which is ductility. Ductility is an ability to form any element into a thin wire. The metals are ductile and they form wire, but the non-metal are not ductile. For example, you can make wire of copper, but if you try to make wire from sulfur it will just become powder. Fifth number is sonority. Sonority is the ability to produce sound. The metals are sonorous while the non-metal are not. Sixth number is melting point. The temperature at which a solid element starts melting is known as its melting point. Metal have high melting point but non-metals have low melting point. But gallium is a metal with low melting point and diamond is a non-metal with high melting point. Seventh number is state of matter. State of matter mean that the element is solid, liquid and gas in nature. Metal are solid in nature but non-metal are present in any form, but mercury is only metal which is liquid. The eighth number is heat and electricity. The metal is a good conductor of electricity and heat, but the non-metal is bad conductor. It is an insulator of heat and electricity, except graphite. Graphite is a good conductor of electricity and heat. This video is created by ADITYA Chaudhary.